So what I'm going to do with Vince, actually, this is something different. Some of the dynamic training stuff that I do in my facility in New York is based purely for fat loss. There's really no muscle gain component here. So no, actually, there's a strength component in final phase fat loss that we can't do, mainly because these weights are simply not heavy enough for Vince. You would need
look how big Vince is.
Look at him. He's
usually 100 is the minimum.
Yeah. So we're going to do a circuit of combination exercises. So what we're going to do here is a nice push-up with a squat thrust in it. And he's going to do that.
I love these.
Yeah.
So I don't do squat thrusts. I got no flexibility for squat thrusts.
I'll do it. Really?
I'm serious. What do you mean, like one of those?
No, squat, like a burpee.
Like a burpee.
Oh, I can do those.
Okay,
yeah.
So you're going to do a push-up with a squat thrust.
Look at you tell Vince to do one thing, if not like a barbell chest press.
John,
you don't want to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So we're going to do a couple of different. I'm going to actually demonstrate the exercises because they're a little bit unusual. All right. So we'll just do 10s to make it easy. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to get a lot of flack from the bodybuilding community whenever I combine two exercises like this. We're going to do a reverse lunge with a bicep curl.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go about 6 lunges per leg, which will be about 12 bicep curls, if my math is correct. So obviously, this is really not a really good muscle building modality. This is something, obviously, if I'm going to do regular reverse lunges, I'm going to use more than 10 pounds. If I'm going to do regular bicep curls, I'm going to use more than 10 pounds. But by combining the exercise, it makes it more difficult, so I have to use lighter weight.
Okay.
But what's going to happen is that it is more effective for fat loss. So keep that in mind before you guys write me all sorts of hate emails about how I lift light weights. All right. So what we're going to do is a nice reverse lunge with a bicep curl, and then coming right back up. So this weight is a little bit light, but what's going to happen is that you are going to notice extreme fatigue coming in. All right, so this was about 5, so we're just going to do 5 more.
So you're alternating legs right now?
Alternating legs, keeping the dumbbells the same.
Gotcha. Beautiful.
Good form.
Good. All right, so just basic stuff like that. So that's the first exercise. Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay, sorry. So is this us or you still going? Sorry.
So I'll show you one more. So the other one we're going to do, we're going to use slightly heavier weight. And we're going to do a forward lunge with an overhead press.
Oh, these are beautiful.
Oh.
Very challenging on the core. You can hear 2 reps in, I'm already struggling with only 20 pounds.
Yeah.
25. You got 25, sir.
Oh, I got 2 different weights. That's what I'm going to do. Professional trainer.
Uneven loading is good for the core.
Yeah, very good for the core. So
we're doing how many
right, Arnel?
So we're just going to go 10 total reps. And then the other one is the push-up of the burpee. I'll let you demonstrate.
Yeah.
All right, starting
So we're both doing
lunges.
This one, or am I doing the push-ups?
No, we'll start the lunges with the reverse curl.
How many are they doing, John?
Just let's go 10.
And John, can you just make sure
You have to alternate leg cuts.
even though we're all guys doing this, women really benefit from
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. No, anyone can do these exercises.
Okay, awesome.
Lunges are probably the single best fat loss exercise there is. And anyone can do them.
We do a lot of these movements in my women's boot camp, so
yeah,
they're very effective.
Good. So you can see, Vince, that's good enough. Stop.
I would challenge the muscle building guys, though,
now,
to try and stick to the weights. If you curl 40s,
I don't know if you noticed.
40s. Would you say that's fair?
I mean, you could if you can curl 40s, you should be able to use. Oh yeah, but I mean, just because the balance factor is that you'll probably want to be using 30s.
Hey John, I just want to make sure people understand. Arnel was lunging as he stepped back. Vince was lunging as he came forward.
He was curling as he came up.
As he came up, I
was
believe.
when I was going down.
Yeah.
That's how I normally do it.
Okay.
I do have clients that find it difficult to balance that way, in which case
either
you
way,
do it on the way. It really, it's not going to matter as long as you're completing the movements at roughly the same time. So what you notice is Vince actually did all of his lunges with his his right leg first, and then switched to his left leg. Arnel alternated, and again, you have that option as well. So in the program, it does give more specific instructions, but again, it's just a cool little exercise to try. All right, let's grab those weights again, and now we're going to go alternating forward lunges with the overhead press.
This is a little harder.
This one's harder. Okay, so again, Vince is pressing as he pushes back, and Arnel is going to press
two
as he
different
goes
ways.
down. So it's 2 different ways to do it.
Arnel's is slightly more challenging.
But yeah, the way Arnel
picked the easier way.
Yeah.
Vince picked the easier way. So again, if you're a guy who's a little bit more concerned about building muscle, you could do it the way Vince is doing it. It allows him to use heavier weights. It's probably not as good for your core because you don't have to balance on the end quite as much. But it's a little bit more explosive. Either one, you're probably going to burn around the same amount of calories. And again, these are very calorically expensive movements here. How you feeling, Vince?
This is good to show two versions of the similar movement.
One more.
Now you guys can stop. All right.
Got 10.
Perfect. All right, so you got 10 lunges each leg for 20 overhead presses. So again, high volume stuff, particularly calorically expensive, very good for burning fat. Again, these guys are super out of breath. That's challenging weight for the overhead press, probably not for the lunge, but there's a balance component there. And you know, it's a lot of core work, especially the version that you did. So that's another cool thing. All right, so now we're gonna go push-up with a burpee.
Without the weights, assume, right?
Without the weights, yeah. And so Arnel's gonna show us this one, and then Vince will get in there. Push up, up, good.
Without the jump?
Just like that, without the jump, yeah. I mean, you could throw a jump squat in if you guys are really ambitious. Good, let's see one with a jump squat. Good. So you could do that as well. We're not gonna do that this time.
Okay.
All right, so now again, we're just gonna go 15 total. All right, Vince, get in there.
Now you're calling this type of training just combination movements?
Yeah, these are mostly combination movements, all right? And this is what you find in the dynamic workouts.
Don't bump heads.
This is what you find in the dynamic workouts of final phase fat loss. So they're not all combination movements, but a lot of times we'll do step-ups with an overhead press or step-ups with a curl. And we also have a lot of things that we can't do here in terms of pull-ups and fun stuff like that, because unfortunately we don't have the type of equipment in this hotel gym. It's a lot nicer than the gym in our hotel, I have to say.
This is harder for tall people, so I feel for Vince.
Yeah. The range of motion is obviously a lot greater.
How many?
I think I said 15. So again, there's a conditioning component here as well. Now, because he's done the overhead pressing, his arms are tired from that as well. So now getting a little bit more stimulus to the tricep, even with a mild, body weight workout, like just like a push-up, it's taxing. And now Vince's fiance is laughing. So it is hard. By the way, Vince is red not from the workout.
Is this funny, Flavia?
We were doing all this stuff before I went to the Dominican.
Yeah, these are the workouts that
we
Vince
were like killing it back then.
Yeah.
That's good.
So these
I'm just laughing how
mentally they're very humbling as well, especially if you're doing a lot of traditional bodybuilding training with long rest periods.
Yeah.
You start sucking for air, usually because it's just the first couple weeks at it. But yeah, it motivates you to realize, holy cow, I go to the gym. Doesn't mean you're in shape if you go to the gym.
Yeah.
It all depends on what you're doing inside the gym. So that's what brings these workouts to life.
Yeah, and that's what makes them so effective for fat loss, because you don't necessarily need cardio workouts. Everyone always talks about high intensity interval training, and now metabolic resistance training is the big thing. And the whole reason for that is they're calorically expensive, and they create something called excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. You create an oxygen debt, and then your body has to burn excess calories to just kind of refuel in terms of oxygen. These workouts do that. So you don't actually have to do extra cardio, all right? So because you can only create so much EPOC. After that, you're just, the law of diminishing returns just come into play and just kind of spinning your wheels and not doing anything. So with these type of workouts, you're creating the EPOC, and then if you wanted to just walk on a treadmill afterwards to burn a couple of extra calories and help get some blood flow to your legs and recover from the workouts, that's built into the program. And that's what actually helps you burn a little extra calories and lose a little bit more weight. So you don't necessarily have to do huge amounts of interval training as well.
Yeah, and it ties into the concept of the fit. The fitter you are, the fitter you look.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. Good job, guys.
All right, guys, great job to Scott as well, our cameraman, and our beautiful assistant Flavia over here. So thanks, guys. Definitely check out Final Phase Fat Loss. Again, it comes out February 15th. You're going to love it. Really great, just different styles of exercise. I absolutely guarantee it is the best and most advanced fat loss workout on the market today. So you're going to love it. Give it a shot. Thanks.